You are looking for a fast and reliable way to restore your website, and trust me, you've come to the right place. We've helped over 1 million sites over the last 10 years do the exact same things. So don't worry, strap in, coffee up, tidy up, hydrate yourself, because we're going to make some magic here today. Hello friends, my name is Julian. Welcome back to our channel. And today I'm going to teach you how to restore your WordPress website, whether A, you're not sure that you have a backup, B, you're a BlogWorld customer, C, you have a backup, and D, you don't have a backup. So you can skip to the chapters that I've mentioned below to easily find the solution for whatever problem you want. But I would recommend watching the entire video so that you're better prepared for all future issues. If you aren't sure whether you have a backup or not, don't worry. You can probably restore your website from a popular backup plugin or from your web host. Most popular plugins store your backup in your cloud storage options. So check if any of your plugins are connected to your cloud account. If your backup is stored in your cloud accounts, most probably it's going to be a .zip file or a .wordpress file. Now, if you're able to find your backup like this, then amazing, your life is going to be that much easier. You can skip to the section where we talk about restoring your website if you do have a backup. If you're not able to find a backup like this, do not worry. We'll still tell you how to restore your website. And finally, if you're a BlogWorld customer, then I love you. And your life is going to be that much easier because we're going to show you how to restore your website with just a few clicks. If you're a BlogWorld customer, things are actually really simple for you. All you need to do is log into your BlogWorld dashboard and click on your site. Then go to Backups and hit Test Restore. This will help you check whether the latest backup that you have is of the broken site or not. If everything checks out, just go back and hit Restore Site and you're done. If the site appears to be broken though, you can just go back and click on Show All Backups and select another backup version. If you're not sure whether you're a BlogWorld customer or not, just check your email, because if your site is broken and you are a BlogWorld customer, we would have sent you an email about it. Or if you want to contact us, you can contact us at this email ID. Number C, you have a backup. Now, even if you're sure you have a backup and you actually find this backup, you might be struggling with one or multiple issues, such as restoring a WordPress site might actually turn out more complicated than you had initially imagined, and most of the help docs and articles online could be promo content for one plugin or another. Or your backup could be sitting on a Google Drive account as a zip file or a .wordpress file, and you don't know the exact steps to proceed forward. The plugin that you paid for could have taken a corrupt backup or could keep crashing when you try to restore your website. And a bunch of other issues could actually be plaguing you at this point. But don't worry, we're going to cover the 3 main ways in which you can restore your website if you do have a backup. And the 3 ways are restoring your website with a plugin, restoring your website from your web host, and finally restoring your website manually. Number 1, restoring with a plugin. Now, every backup plugin works differently, so there are small differences in the steps that you must follow. So for an example, for a premium plugin like Backup Buddy, you would have to download the importbuddy.php file, you would have to download your backup, you'd have to delete all your files, you'd have to download the WordPress database from cPanel using phpMyAdmin, you'd have to delete the database, you'd have to use your browser to log into your site.com/importbuddy.php. You can import your files using the backup in ImportBuddy and then finally import the database using phpMyAdmin again. Yes, it's quite a bit of effort. Now for freemium plugins like Updraft Plus, the backup gets uploaded to Google Drive, Amazon S3 or Dropbox, wherever your cloud storage is basically. So first you need to download a local copy to your PC, and then you can use the plugin to upload the zip file to your site. The rest is done for you by Updraft Plus. But this is not a foolproof method of restoring your WordPress website, because there's a lot of common issues that spring up here. For example, if you see during the restore that your site is broken, or if the restore process fails altogether, which is known to happen, then you're in for a really rough day. You can try to restore the site manually, and that's pretty much all you can do unless your web host has a backup that you can use. Number 2, restoring from a web host backup. Not every WordPress host is going to give you the option of taking a backup of your site. And even if they do give you that option, in most cases you'll have to pay extra for it. But if you're desperate for a fix, this might be a viable option for you. Now, if you do have backups enabled, you can log into your hosting account and check your site settings for a backup. You can usually restore WordPress from backup with just one click. Now I know what you're thinking. Restoring a WordPress site from the hosting account seems super convenient and easy. Why didn't I mention this before? Well, it's really simple. Unless you're paying the web host separately for your backups, there's no guarantee that your web host will actually have a backup of your site. And even if they do have a backup, you may not have access to restore the WordPress from backup yourself. That's right. There's a lot of fine print in the terms and conditions that, we generally press OK with before even reading fully. Number 3, restoring your website manually. Now, I'm going to give you a fair warning. Restoring your website manually is a complex and lengthy process and is quite risky. But in some cases, you might not have an option. For example, if you don't have access to your WordPress dashboard, in such cases, you can't use a plugin to recover your website. So the manual methods of using FTP, cPanel, and PHPMyAdmin are your only option. So let's get into the steps of restoring your website manually. Step number 1, download your backup. If your backup file is on some cloud storage service like Google Drive, download the zip file first. Step number 2, log into the cPanel and delete all your files. That's right, delete all your files. You can go into the public_HTML folder, select all the files and delete all of it. Now, if you go and check your website at this point, you're going to see that the site no longer exists. Step number 3, go to PHPMyAdmin in cPanel and delete your site's database table. This part is a little tricky. You have to know which database to delete. If you're not sure, it's usually the database with the format wp_site name, and that's the one you want to delete. Just in case you're still not sure, head over to this location and you can see what the name of the database is. Then go to that database, download a copy and delete all the tables. Step number 4, re-upload the files. You can do this step using cPanel or using FTP. We'll take a look at each. If you're using cPanel's file manager, upload the zip file directly to the public HTML folder. You can then use the file manager to extract files directly from the zip file. Alternatively, you can use the FTP to manually upload each file. So connect your site to an FTP client like FileZilla and simply upload all the files. Step number 5, re-upload the database. This is not recommended if your website is hacked. If your website is hacked, you have to create a new database because re-uploading the same database will cause a restore attempt failure 9 out of 10 times. Finally, add the database to PHPMyAdmin and that's all, you're done. If you manage to do this successfully, good for you, but this issue might occur again. So this is a great time to start using BlogVault's backup service because it's going to save you a lot of tension later on down the line. If you still haven't been able to restore your WordPress from backup, chances are that your backup might be corrupt. Or maybe you have an XML file which isn't actually a backup. In that case, you can attempt a recovery without a backup, and I'm going to tell you how to do that. Restoring a WordPress website if you don't have backups is a very tricky thing to do. There is no surefire way of doing this. I'm going to show you 2 of the best ways to do this, and in all likelihood you might be able to gain at max 70% of your website. But 70% is better than 0%. So let's get into these 2 methods. To use Google's cached content to restore your website, head over to this URL and then replace this part of this URL with your website's own URL. This will fetch the last cached version of your site. Click on View Source to see the source code, then copy the code. Reinstall WordPress on your website. Create a new page and paste the code. For Bing, you can't directly fetch a cached version of your website using a formula. So instead, you need to search for your web page. When it shows up in the Bing search engine, right next to the URL, you should see a down arrow. Click on that arrow. Then click on the View Cached page and repeat the same process as before. There's no guarantee that you're going to recover your full site, but you might recover a part of it. Use the Wayback Machine to restore your WordPress website. The Wayback Machine is the internet's largest archive. So there's a very high chance that it took a snapshot of your website and you can use that cached content to restore your website. This is especially true if your website is a few years old and gets a lot of traffic. So head to this URL and once again replace this part of the URL with your website's URL. Look for the latest date encircled in green. That's a sign that the site was crawled properly. Now click on the snapshot type and wait for the cached site to load. Next, use the Wayback Machine downloader to get a copy of your site emailed to you. Finally, use this backup to restore your site manually. For the database, you'll have to create a new one so that you can create a new user with admin privileges. After that, you can upload your database as well. I really hope that you were able to restore your WordPress website one way or the other. But I'm going to tell you a truth. This problem is going to occur again. And you're going to suffer again unless you're better prepared in the future for it and you take one action today. And that action is going to be to try out BlogVault. BlogVault saves over 200 businesses every single month from getting crushed due to a broken website. With unique features that most plugins simply cannot offer and a 100% restore rate. BlogVault is the option that's going to save your life in the future and save you a lot of time and effort. So check out the link in description for a free trial and try this out for yourself. Thank you so much for your time. I hope I've been able to help you out. If you have any questions related to backup, security or anything WordPress, comment below. My name is Julian. I'm your friendly neighborhood geek and I'll see you again next week.